Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. My name is Tanika.
And my name's Ava.
And today we're going to be discussing Selling Sunset. So, before we get into that, we're going to introduce ourselves. Again, my name is Tanika. And we're going to talk about what got us into reality TV in the first place. Ava, do you want to go first?
Sure, I can go first. So, basically, I'm not gonna date myself because this is a serious throwback. But I would say it would be America's Next Top Model was like the first reality TV growing up. Didn't know how toxic it really was until present date.
Very true.
Very toxic.
But we all love to hear Tyra say, I got these two pictures in my hands.
Only one of you, right?
It's gonna go through.
All the dramatics. You remember that episode where she literally pretended she fainted and all the girls were so concerned?
Oh, yes.
It was like, oh, we're doing acting today. And then we're just
oh my God, yes. Yeah,
but
I'm like, girl, Tyra, you're not that good of an actress anyways. So anyways.
Exactly. She was doing the most. But anyways, that was my first intro. And then it would be Bad Girls Club. Like that was my first real like blatant trash. And I've been hooked. Like I loved it. I didn't think I would love like catty women fighting, obviously.
But here we are.
But I do. And here we are. Like, you know, a decade later, and I'm just like, more please. Yeah.
So I think for me, I mean, yes, I watched America's Next Top Model as well. And I think like, I don't know if you can classify this as reality TV, but I mean, technically it is reality TV, American Idol. Started watching, started watching that from the beginning with Kelly Clarkson and Justin Guarini. And for those people who watch Below Deck, ain't no one knew who he was because he was on the show. But I think my introduction into trashy reality TV would be Jersey Shore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I was probably one that tried to not like that show. I'm like, I am not going to get into this with people. I'm not doing it. But my friend got me into it, and I went into probably a pinnacle episode, which would have been season 2, the infamous Sammy and JWoww fight. And I was hooked. That's what got me in.
Right.
So, yeah, that's my story.
Wait, but are you watching the reboot?
Like, oh, yeah. Oh yeah. And they're coming because with that, Sammy didn't want to be a part of the show because of the drama. Was she has her own thing. She's doing good for herself, and also just didn't want to deal with Ron because Ron's messy. But she's coming back. In the next season, and so is Ron because he's been gone.
Wasn't he in jail or was that like
he went to rehab, I believe, because there was some issues with his baby mom and all that, but he was off the show for a bit. But it looks like he's gonna try.
They're like all grown up and older, and they got themselves together. It won't be like it wouldn't be so drama centered.
Well.
She's like, hold up.
You would think grown-ass people would act better, but they don't. So,
all right.
I mean, Mike is still kind of him deep down to the core, but I mean, we got like Mike and Polly are in their 40s and still acting well. Polly's okay, but Mike sometimes still gets messed up in his business. And anyway,
yeah.
But which takes me into my segue into the evidence that I found out from watching the last season of Jersey Shore. So, which kind of will connect to another show that we will cover once it comes back, The Bachelorette. And I found out that Vinny and Gabby have dating rumors swirling around about the two of them.
Wait, from Gabby and Rachel?
Gabby and Rachel. Did you know that her and Eric aren't together anymore?
Wait, the guy that she chose at the end?
Guy, yeah. The old
Yeah.
well, Rachel didn't pick nobody. well, she
Yeah.
she did,
I
but
knew
yeah.
they weren't. I knew they weren't together. I can't remember what it was, but I know that.
Maybe I did know that. I just don't remember. But yeah, they're not together. So
Oh,
how Vinny and Gabby seem to have connected was because they were both on Dancing with the Stars. And they
oh,
connected that way. So there has been some flirty messages apparently going back and forth between them on like the socials. And even though they
do
are
we have receipts or not?
so I do have this one article that I found. Let me make sure that I'm going from the beginning here. I am. Okay, so one of the things that was said, and I believe it was by Vinny, he said, "Stop looking for the one. Be the one and let them all come to you." Then Gabby commented, "On my way." Okay, girl.
Oh,
Okay, girl. I mean, get it.
okay.
Get it. But my question is, does she still want a committed relationship? Because Vinny has not been in a relationship, I don't think, ever.
I was gonna say, if I was looking for something serious, I'd be
it
going
ain't
the
with
opposite
Vinny.
direction like this.
It ain't with
Yeah,
Vinny. It ain't with Vinny. So
yeah,
I love Vinny, but it ain't with him.
yeah.
So I guess now we can kind of segue into Selling Sunset.
Oh yeah, the reason why we're actually here.
The
Yeah.
reason we're actually here. This is why we're here. So Selling Sunset Season 6, Episode 1. I Wanted to Hate You. Well, all right then. Here we go. So we start off the episode seeing all of the old people and the new people. So we're just going to go through through them real quick so we can jog our memories because really and truly, I don't remember any of these people's names except for Chrishell. So we have Chrishell. And she starts off by saying, "People think that I'm in a midlife crisis." We're going to leave that there.
We'll just revisit that.
We're going to leave that there. Then we have Chelsea. And if you remember Chelsea, she is the beautiful Black British queen that she is. That seemed to kind of want to start some drama with Christine when Christine was here. We have Emma, who is our empanada girl. We have Amanda, who I love. We're all good with her. We have Heather, who is preggers at the time of recording. We have Mary, who is, we remember, is married to the French guy. And Davina, question mark, showed her face, but she's barely on the season, so that's fine. And then our new people, we have Nicole, who isn't very new. She has been a part of the Oak group for 8 years, but she's new to the show. I think we vaguely would have seen her when Mary got married. She officiated the wedding. And then we have Bree. Now, I don't know about all you, but doesn't Bree look like Christine with brown hair? Is it just me?
No. Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's just you.
It's just me?
Yeah,
it's okay.
You.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
absolutely not. She's drop dead gorgeous.
Oh, Christine's gorgeous too. But
be careful how you throwing that around, okay? Not everybody gets no. I think Christine is beautiful, but I'm talking this girl looks like a little bit exotic. Like she's giving
I
wouldn't say that about Christine. Christine is giving me Christine is giving I went to Dr. So-and-so and
oh damn. Oh damn.
Okay. But this girl, even if she's giving me Dr. So-and-so, like she looks more like
she's Italian. Italian women are
there's something about her. Anyway, she's gorgeous. Okay, they're both beautiful women in their own right. And we'll leave it there.
From what we can tell with Bree, she's gonna have a story because she is one of Nick Cannon's baby moms.
One of the many.
One of the many. That's why I said one of them.
Yeah, you probably have to count all fingers and toes.
I don't
through the list.
Yes. Well, we're already on the second hand because he has, I don't even know, like 300 children.
Yeah. But it
So
kind of sucks for her though, but in a way, just
we'll
because
get,
she's associated with him, right? And all of that.
yeah, we'll
So
get there.
yeah.
You just watched the first episode. We'll get there.
Yeah, I watched
We'll get there. So we start off this episode with Emma selling a house that was owned by Harry Styles.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
And they kind of go to the bedroom where potentially some watermelon sugar was happening. Anyways.
Watermelon sugar.
Uh, so, yeah. So we find out that Chrishell hasn't been working in the office since, I guess, the reunion. And the reason for her doing that is because she doesn't want to deal with Jason.
Right.
Which, it's understandable.
Like who really wants to work with their ex at the end of the day? Like, let's be for real.
But at the same time, Jason dates all his realtors. Like, come on.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
because we'll find out. We'll find out with Jason. There's more to come with this man. You can't shit where you sleep,
right.
and that's kind of what Jason seems to do. And I get that. There's not really much there. We're not going to be talking about the houses, and they all are big houses with nice views with a pool.
Very expensive.
Very expensive houses. Exactly.
Right.
We're not going to be covering. This is not that kind of show.
Right.
So then we're in the next scene with Jason Romaine, who's Mary's husband, and Mary. And Jason has a new girlfriend. Her name is Mary Lou. Mary Lou.
Right. Skip to my Lou, Mary Lou. What it do, Mary Lou?
Who is 23 years old, which is right up his alley.
Right up his alley.
Right up his alley.
Yeah.
And oh wait, it's actually 20. Oh yeah, 21-year difference between the two of them. That's, whatever. He doesn't want kids. She's not ready for kids. It's perfect.
Makes sense.
So then we are with Bree and Heather. I guess this is our introduction to Bree.
Yeah.
So they're having lunch or whatever. And as we discussed already, she is one of Nick Cannon's baby moms.
12.
One of 12.
I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there. It might as well be at this point. I don't know.
I think in total the guy has, 12 kids, but he's going to keep going. And I mean, again, I don't know if you heard the news about how he thinks Christina Milian was the one that got away because he wants to have kids with her now too. Y'all, you've been broken up for 20 years. Give it up.
Wow.
Give it up. Like, she's moved all the way on and she dodged a whole ass bullet.
Yeah.
So they're discussing labor and babies and all of that because she's pregnant, Heather's pregnant, and Bree just had her baby 6 weeks before.
First of all, she looks hella good.
She looks amazing. She looks amazing.
I still look pregnant, and I'm 18 months postpartum, and this girl is 6 weeks postpartum, and her body is snatched from H to T. Like I want
to know what they do. Actually, I don't want to know what they do because I don't.
We know what they do.
We know what they do. We've heard rumors, but I'm not dealing with that. That's not me.
But she looks good. She does look good. And listen, if I had money, I'd be doing it too. So let's be for real, okay? So, anyways,
so Heather asked this question: Did you shave before you went into labor? My girl. The last thing that you're thinking of your worries is whether or not your pom-pom is shaved.
Right?
It's just not gonna happen.
If
I don't care.
Somebody's brain into motherhood and all this stuff. Like I really don't care about that.
No.
It goes to show,
I barely care about it now, if we're being totally honest.
Exactly.
And I don't have no kids nor pregnant.
When you're pushing and you're in excruciating pain, whether or not you take an epidural and you feel that pressure of pushing out a child,
That's
You
the
will
last
not be
thing.
thinking about, oh, by the way, did I
The
shave?
doctor is going to see I don't care. I don't care. But she does say that even when she can't reach, because come on, let's be real, there's going to be a point where you cannot reach to shave.
Cannot. No.
She says that Tarek, as we know, if in case you don't know, she is married to Tarek Musa, who is one of the HGTV peoples. And she says that Tarek will shave for her. Good for you.
Hey, you know what this reminds me of? When Stacy and Darcy, remember when she said Florian
shave. Yeah.
Boofy.
No. I can tell you right now, my man is not going to put a razor to my hoo-ha. It's just not happening.
No.
It's not happening.
Can you imagine? Listen, if I send my man down there, he'd give me a fade, a lineup, he'd give me zigzag, he'd put that Nike sign in, that little Nike stroke. Like, let's be for real. Like, it's not gonna be for me. It's gonna be
for him. Yeah. Look at my handiwork.
Name down there. Like, you I'm sorry. Like, no. And if you're so concerned about it, go to a professional then and go get wax.
But like, even then, everything your feeling and what you feel is so different when you're pregnant. I can't handle wax now. Anyway.
Moving right along.
Right past that.
Yeah.
All right. So, meanwhile, we're back at a group scene and we're talking about Brie. And then in walks Heather and Brie while we're talking about the new girl. Mm-hmm. And I can't recall who was talking about who, but just based on what you see further on in the season, I'm going to say Chelsea was probably one of those people that was talking about this new girl and feeling, I guess, jealousy and whatnot and threatened. And it's like, listen, you're good and you're right. She's good and her right. Let's not do all that. So Brie ends up sitting in Chrishell's seat. And someone tells her the hot seat.
The hot seat, clearly. Because someone met with interrogation right off the bat.
And then someone says, don't get too comfortable. We don't know if Chrishell's coming in. We don't know. Is Chrishell coming? Yes, Chrishell is coming because this is a television show. Of course she's coming. Come on now.
She's in the trailer. She's coming. Okay.
She's coming. Lord. Okay.
That was Chelsea. Chelsea was like, oh, but don't get too comfortable because that's Chelsea scenes. Like, girl.
Listen, first of all, none of y'all actually work in the office. You only do when the show is on.
Let's be for real.
Like, you don't have to work in the office. So Chelsea then talks about how her first year at the O Group was tough and she had, not at the O Group. Her first year in real estate in general was tough.
Right.
Having to prove herself, wanting to sell those $1 million homes or whatever. But so Brie, they're going back and forth about the fact that it's tough in the first year and trying to, I guess, size each other up and be like,
well, Chelsea's trying to give unsolicited advice. You know what I mean? Kind of like,
yeah.
Like, don't worry if you don't sell, sweetie. In your
kind of like what Christine did to Chrishell.
Right.
In the first season.
Right.
And
size her up.
Yeah. And so they're sizing each other up. And Chelsea starts off saying, well, I sold 9.2 million in my first year. Because Brie asked, like, how much did you sell in your first year? 9.2 million. Okay, that's a great number.
Right.
Brie then comes out and says, well, I sold 20 million. Okay, girl.
Boom.
Okay, girl. Okay,
shots
girl.
fired. Boom.
I heard you there. All right, then.
Right.
So you can clearly tell at that point that there's going to be a clear rift between the two of them.
Right. But I mean, Chelsea, you wanted to have this conversation, so
exactly.
Conversation.
You got the conversation. Don't ask for the conversation if you can't handle the conversation.
Exactly.
And then we are with Chrishell at G Flip's studio session, whatever.
Right.
Going forward, we're going to refer to them as G Flip or G just to make it easier, we don't want to misgender anybody or anything like that. So we'll refer to them as G. And then G says to Chrishell, come play the drums. And she plays the drums. But that's not my problem with Chrishell. This is my problem with Chrishell. Chrishell, girl. If you're going to say someone has passed away, please make sure you get your facts straight. Because this bitch, and I say that lovingly, this bitch literally says, "Oh, Stevie Nicks still alive?" Girl. Well, now she's not. You just killed her. Fine.
Right?
You just killed Stevie fucking Nicks.
Right.
What is wrong with you?
And Stevie Nicks actually thriving right now? Like I swear she's on tour or something.
I think so. Like, she's still doing her thing.
Yeah.
She's still talented. She's still like,
yeah.
Girl. Get
it together.
Right?
But she's so cute. It's so hard to even.
Oh, yeah. But still, in the moment, you're just, to me, when I heard her say, Stevie Nicks still alive, that's like asking if whether or not Julie Andrews is still alive. Girl?
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah,
be very careful.
Yeah.
Because if she dies now, I'll come for you. But anyway.
Protect Stevie Nicks at all costs, by the way. Please.
Protect her. Please. So then we're at Emma's open house. I believe this is the same house that Harry Styles lived in. So Chelsea shows up wearing a shell dress. I think that was the dress where they were knocking on her.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It gave me you remember that what was that movie? With Turtle.
Oh my God, Master of Disguise.
Yes. I'm going to be the master of disguise. I'm going to be yes. That's what it Turtle. As soon as they knocked on the shell, I was like Turtle. I died.
You have no clue. I didn't think anyone in my world knew this movie.
Of course.
We just unlocked a core memory here. Oh my God. That was it was a stupid movie. Okay, let's be very real. It was a stupid ass movie.
Right.
But it was just one of those movies that you saw that commercial where he went turtle. I'm like, I'm watching that. Drove my mama nuts, but hey, who cares?
Yeah.
All right. So we see Brett and Jason finally, and Amanda in pink hair. What did you think of her pink hair? Did you like it?
She gives me costumey all the time. I'm still trying to pinpoint what her style is. Like her actual style.
Everything.
She has this eclectic vibe. Like she has so many things going on. Yeah. I didn't necessarily like it. Not because she's, older or more mature or whatever. It's just, it was just giving cosplay or something. It wasn't.
I mean, I think I liked the pink on her, to be fair, but I hear what you're saying. But I think also at the same time, I just wonder if she's the kind of person that just can pull anything off, or it could be on the other side of things where it's just she doesn't know what to pull off at all. I don't know, but I didn't
because when you're new money, because she hasn't always been well off or wealthy, right?
No.
So when you find new money and you're coming into your own, coming into new wealth, you're kind of you see all these
doing everything.
Yeah. So you want everything, you get one of each, but really you're not defining yourself. You're not defining a style. You're not. So I find that for a little bit, but I don't know. Who knows? It could just be me, but
yeah. So everyone is there. Chrishell does show up later, which I think instantly puts a vibe in the room, because here we have Chrishell and here we have Jason in the room together. And I have a note here. It says vagina talk. Do you ever talk about vaginas?
Yes, it was. They had a handbag. I think Chelsea's handbag.
Oh, right. Yes.
Of all things.
It did look like a vagina. Let's be real. It kind of. It did. It had.
Yeah.
The anatomy.
So here we are, turtle and vagina. I never thought I'd see it, but
Here we go.
there it is.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And I think they do say something about how I guess it is different after labor.
Yeah.
Why
They
did
got
we
into
have
this
to have this
whole
conversation though?
and I'm just like, is this really the time and the place to have? It was awkward. I'm sorry, it was awkward.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's just different after labor, whatever. And then we see Jason and Chrishell talk.
Yeah.
And
I don't know about you, but I leaned all the way in. I was like,
oh, I did. I'm like, let's do this. Let's do this. Because the last
like even Chrishell was so awkward. Like she was like, how about the real estate?
well, that was my note. This is quite awkward,
Yeah.
quite awkward. And, Jason says at one point that, he checks her Instagram, like, okay, sir, are you checking or stalking? Which is it?
Oh no, he's stalking and he's proud.
Yes.
He's proud.
The fact that, sir, you literally say, I've been checking your Instagram, seeing what you're doing. Like I think he made
and he said, I haven't missed a day. Sir, I'm gonna need you to get off the stand, okay? Because you listen, I would never admit to my ex or anyone that I've been creeping you.
I don't creep my man's Instagram.
Exactly.
But I don't have time for that.
Oh, he makes time. It looks like he makes time to stalk her. You're in a committed relationship with Skip to my Lou, and you're out here still stalking Chrishell and making it known and verbalizing it and being so proud.
You have a whole ass brokerage, sir.
Exactly.
You have a whole ass brokerage. And you actually have a whole ass, as you will see later, a whole ass huge project that you're working on.
Right?
And yet, this grown ass man, age-wise, sorry. I'm short, I can say it. So the whole grown ass man is stalking his ex-girlfriend's Instagram on the daily. Hell, he might be stalking it on the hourly. We really don't know.
Right.
What are you doing? Okay.
And it's so awkward too, because you know why?
Every story.
Somebody to be so open and honest about them stalking me. Like, I'd be so uncomfortable. I wouldn't know what to say because you expect people to lie about that shit. You wouldn't expect somebody to be like, "Oh yeah, I watch your stories all the time. I saw what you did."
This man says it from the jump.
I was uncomfortable. I was like, "Oh my god, like, are you okay?"
And guess what? The stalking laws suck. So what can? There's nothing she can do. Next, we're going to hear how he's stalking outside her house every day. No, we're not going to see that. I'm not saying this. I don't want to get sued. I'm not saying that. But, so then Chrishell talks about, as you call her, Skip to Malou, and throws shade on the fact that she's 23.
Girl.
Ma'am, you said she's 29. You can't throw shade when you are dating a younger person.
I thought that immediately. And she also made a comment about it's perfect for him because, again, she's young and he's not looking for kids or whatever. And no 20-something-year-old is looking for that. So I'm thinking, girl, you wanted kids and you broke up with Jason on that basis. So how are you also with a 20-something-year-old are you going to expect to have kids?
Well, let's be real here. It's even goes deeper with Chrishell and where the confusion comes in.
Right.
But we won't get into it now because I don't want to spoil anything. And I can't remember what happens in what episode. But she does discuss what's going to happen in terms of her having children with T.
I'm just going off episode 1. And initially that was my thought. It's like you broke up with them, you didn't want kids.
Yeah. And that was all our confusion. And then initially, it's not so much about the fact that she is dating what, sex-wise is not a male.
Right.
So that was the confusion of, do you want to have children? So how is that going to happen? But then she does discuss it. And you're like, okay, as long as you're okay with that, cool. I'm
Yeah.
okay with it too. I just don't want her to sacrifice what she wants in
Right.
the, and if at the same time, if Jason wasn't ready for the family life and all of that, I mean, I feel like he's made that completely clear prior to being with Chrishell that he didn't want to have children. So why were you with him?
Yeah.
Why were you guys together in the first place and
Well,
then
maybe she
have
thought she could change him, right? It's that
and
old.
I think a lot of us do feel that we can change our men who don't want to have children or don't want to have children or we want to have children. But I've learned you can't do that. They have to follow that path on their own. I just hate that they had to have this heartbreak unnecessarily because I think they really did love each other.
Oh yeah, I
Clearly, he still loves
still do,
her,
still
but
do. Yeah,
yeah, at least he
at
does.
least on his part. Yeah, absolutely. The way
If
that he
you
blames at her, it's like so piercing. I'm like, chill, chill.
if
We're
you
watching.
are stalking
Yeah,
her Instagram,
Instagram.
watching her every story, sir, they delete every 24 hours. How are you getting every okay?
But you know what? He probably set his notifications. I wouldn't even be
Right?
surprised.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I guess Chrishell asked Jason if he mentioned her, I guess, to Skip to Malou. And
Right.
that is her name. That's her name now.
Moving forward.
That is her name now. Um, and Jason tells Chrishell that he told Skip to Malou that Chrishell is fucking amazing.
Amazing. And that he
Not
loves
just amazing,
her.
fucking amazing. We have to put the
Right.
emphasis.
Right.
And I'm like,
And that he loves her.
and that he loves her.
Right.
And I'm just like, listen, real good here.
Yeah.
If my man told me that, actually my ex did tell me that, and now he's my ex
For a reason.
for a reason.
Right.
And I said, the hell to the nah. No, no,
Right.
no, no. The only person you should be loving is me. Anyways. Um, so yeah, and apparently Skip to Malou is not jealous.
Right. They're
Oh,
not until they are, and that's all
exactly.
I'm saying. They're not until
Exactly.
they are.
And
Give
that's
her a few more reasons, and she will be.
I
Right?
mean, she's also I guess Persian is the right thing to say, right? Because she's from France. They're cool. Oh,
Right.
wait. So then we're saved by Micah and shot. So Micah is Emma's client.
Right.
Right. So we're saved by this awkward ass conversation by Micah. Thank you. And some shots.
Right.
Shots. Everybody. So yeah, so then Chrishell took a shot from in between Emma's boobs. Can we discuss?
Yeah.
We're at an open house.
Right.
This is supposed to
Number
be
one.
professional.
Number one.
We are
Yeah.
not in the club. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand what's happening. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
God.
I mean, they sure dress like it. They might as well be. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen to me right here. I've watched the $1 Million Listings, New York and LA. No, they don't. They don't dress like that. I mean, New York's a different scene, but LA, they are selling the same type of houses and all of that.
Right.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
You literally have Josh, one of the Joshes. Well, the other Josh, he dresses as he dresses because he's him. But then you have the other Josh who's coming in suits. Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then in walks Bree, looking great, I'm sure.
Right.
And then
My queen.
here's one more thing that is going to be between her and Chelsea. And I'm very confused by this, but at the same time, I actually understood where Bree was coming from. And we'll talk about this later on too, because this does come back up. So Bree walks in And she goes to talk to Chelsea. And Chelsea is with these two other women who knows Bree. And Bree knows them from, I guess, a modeling gig or modeling agency
From
or
a past life. Okay.
a past life.
Yep.
Right. But what Bree talks about is the fact that why are these women here? Because they're not brokers.
This is not a +1 situation.
No.
Okay.
No. Or unless it is a +1 situation, if your +1 is also a realtor or is a part of is a broker or whatever. Because it's a broker's open. And again, I'm going to go back to $1 Million Listing. Usually when you have brokers open, which is usually what happens, especially in these bigger homes, is, brokers open means exactly that. This is an open house open to the brokers or the realtors, and they take it to their clients and say, look at this great house I saw. It fits everything you want. Right. Is this woman going to buy the house? Probably not. So why is she there? So I did.
And I can't help but think Chelsea knew exactly what she was doing.
Yes.
When Bree, I think Bree made a comment like, why are they here? And Chelsea was like, oh, do you know each other? How do you know each other? And it was like, bitch,
girl,
you know
why they're here. Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And how far did you have to dig to find these two? You know what I mean? Like, were they just like a phone call away to invite them like out of nowhere? Like, where did they come from, really?
We'll get to it.
Okay. So I legit only watched the first episode, so
we'll get there.
Oh wow.
We'll get there.
And Bree did say she does not like these bitches.
No, she doesn't. So they're not friends.
Exactly.
They're acquaintances. They know each other.
That whole interaction was, oh my god, I haven't seen you so. Do you remember Bob? And it was like,
bitch.
Bob. It's like, what?
Bitch. The reason I haven't seen is because I don't want to.
Right.
Like, I don't understand.
Far away from your ass. Like,
right.
Look at me now, bitch.
I'm on to bigger and better things. Like,
right.
Mothering another one of his children. So no. She's good at what she does. She seems like a good real estate agent. And so yeah, obviously Bree and Heather talk about what happened. We don't need to rehash that. I feel like we just did.
Right.
And then we see Mary and Chrishell talking because, as Chrishell mentions earlier in the episode, Mary hasn't talked to her since the breakup.
And I got a problem with that.
We're going to get there. We're going to get to that because, listen, you have not spoken to Chrishell. Y'all supposed to be friends. We saw last season when the breakup happened. Was it her or Emma that was there with her? Oh, no, I don't think it was actually her. I think it was Emma who went to Chrishell and was like comforting her, and Mary was with Jason. So you clearly saw that divide happening. Yeah. But you guys were supposed to be friends. So what? You guys were best friends when y'all were still together? So the minute you guys aren't together anymore, y'all not best friends? Mary, he's also your ex-boyfriend. Can we come all the way down? Like, I get you guys are friends and stuff, but Chrishell is also hurting. And if you feel like you don't want to create, you are technically creating your position. I'm team Jason. I'm not team Chrishell. And it's like, no, we are creating sides here and it's not necessary. And I can understand Chrishell feeling upset about that.
I'd be pissed. I'd be so pissed. And it's inexcusable. I don't care what she has to say. Oh, I thought Jason needed me more, or he was really going through it. Bitch, so was Chrishell. And you didn't care to ask. So how do you know he was going through it more than me? Had you checked in, you would find out that maybe we're both going through it.
Here's my thing. Yes, Jason's going through it and is hurt by this heartbreak. But as we know, they were planning to have a child together. They were working towards doing that. And then when you have a breakup like this, when you are that close to finally getting what you want, she's been talking about wanting to have a child since she was with the guy from This Is Us.
Yep.
Okay.
I was
She's
just
been
gonna say that.
she's been talking about she's finally there. And then it just doesn't happen.
Right.
Because
Devastated.
so she is also very devastated by it.
Yeah.
And just because, and I think this is mentioned in this episode, but if not, my bad. But as it's mentioned, Mary kind of says, well, you know, you were with G and you moved on and blah, 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 Ray. As Chrishell mentions, so did Jason.
Right.
Even if they weren't relationship, they were relations.
Right.
So
Plural. He was.
That's what I said.
Taking the block. Let's be for real. He was. Yeah.
Yes.
He was skinning out himself, as we say.
Yes.
In the Caribbean. Just saying.
He was doing his way of coping.
Right.
Okay. So clearly he is not that devastated if he can, you know, stick it somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's I don't get it. So then Mary says, this got me. Mary says to Chrishell, are we cool? Ma'am. Ma'am. Are we cool? This have you been the last year? Like, are we cool? I'll show you cool. Okay, so as mentioned, we talk about that. And then, yeah, so as Chrishell mentions also, you know, that Jason was acting single right after the breakup. Right. As men do, because men are whores. So, yeah, that he was having one night stands and all of that. And yeah. And I think Mary asked, you know, can you forgive me? Chrishell says nothing.
Right.
Time shall tell. And that's where we end.
It's a no for me. I'm gonna just say that.
I mean,
if I have anything to do with it.
honestly, like
she was never her friend. Let's be for real.
No.
Because she's with your ex, so side eye, you really don't care for her like that. And the moment they broke up, you're like, oh, phew, like, you know, I could just
right.
You know.
But then this makes me wonder about Mary, because we see like Mary and Christine were really close. Then all of a sudden they're no longer close.
Right.
And then you see her get close with Chrishell.
Right. And then dropped her like
and now they're not close.
Right.
And it's like, what, like, are you incapable of keeping a friend?
Right.
I don't know. So I do like Mary, but as we see throughout the season, my God, she's problematic.
Yeah. it's gonna be a good season.
It is.
From what I've seen so far, like, you know, the little sneak peeks and the previews, I'm just like, okay, let's go. And I expect there to be more with Chelsea and Brie, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be something.
Yeah. Right. So we are going to be covering another Netflix show called Young, Famous, and African.
Yes.
It's on season 2. We are going to quickly recap the relevant points of season 1 that kind of come into season 2. So we are going to cover that. We'll try to cover that alongside with this show if we can. It's fine. She has kids, everybody. It's fine. It's fine. Like half the world does. We're also going to cover B90 when that starts on June 4th.
Yes.
And we will cover the new season of Bachelorette when that comes as well. I believe that's coming in June. Yeah. And just to go even further out just a little bit, 90 Day UK. Yes, baby. Yeah. It's coming out in July, so we are going to be covering that as well. I love 90 Day UK. So,
Very good.
yeah, so we're just going to end this off here. So thank you everyone for listening. Please like, rate, and subscribe to our podcast. And if you liked our podcast, please share. Please share with everybody.
Yeah,
Share with your friends.
share with your mama. You never know.
Share with your significant other, even if he doesn't watch this or she doesn't watch this or they don't even watch this. We don't know.
Yeah. We can convert somebody, just like how we were dragged into this unwillingly. Somebody drag your friend into this.
Yes. And please visit our socials. We're currently on Facebook and Instagram. You can find us at Reality T times 2. I am going to include those in the show notes. And that's it. So
episode 1 down. Many
more to go.
Yeah,
So
stay tuned.
Yeah, we don't have a set schedule as to when we will be launching out our shows, but be patient with us. We'll get them out.
Yeah, like I said, we got kids.
We got kids. We got responsibilities. We have our jobs.
Yeah, we got full-time job emphasis.
Yes, full-time jobs, which we didn't talk about how we met. Should we talk about it real quick before we end this off?
Yeah.
Okay. So before we end this off real quick, we're gonna do a little quick thing for you.
Yeah.
So
we might even give it away because we do throw in some legal jargons and stuff every now.
We will. Yeah, we didn't so much now, but we will when it comes up. So I work at a law firm, and I have been there for Jesus Lord 6 years. And Ava came in probably halfway through me being there. 2019, I believe. My gosh, 2019.
Wow.
And I was training her because she was working closely with one of the lawyers in the office. And we're not even going to go there. I saw that face. We're not going there. We're not. We don't know who's listening. He's not listening.
Can you imagine? Close his damn browser.
He couldn't send an email after he could post the email. We're not going there. We said too much. So yes, I was training her, and I don't even know how this conversation came up, but it did. And I do recall the season that was on. It was HEA. And I recall the season that was on at the time. It was the season where Libby was pregnant with Ellie. And for some reason, one of our favorite episodes of that season was Andre saying, "Don't respond," I said. And somehow we connected on that. And I'm like, oh, wait, you watched 90 Day Fiancé. And I found my person in the wild. Right. And we also then figured out, which we will cover when the new season starts, Married at First Sight. We realized we watched that as well. And I can't recall that season, but maybe if you know, we're talking about the season with Ariel and Mr. Clean. Right. And that famous fight. Why did anyone take up for me then? If you know, you know. Yeah. And we realized that we both watched that, and it kind of just went from there. We would talk about shows that I was watching and recommend to you. For example, there was
the lockup show,
Love After Lockup, which we won't be covering. I'm sorry, guys, but we do watch that. F-Boy Island, rest in power. That show. And you got me on Love is Blind. Right. Which has completely changed my life, which we will cover. Yes. We will cover the Love is Blind.
And the Ultimatum. Did you mention the Ultimatum?
We will be covering the Ultimatum. We will not be covering this season of the Ultimatum, however, but we will cover future seasons. Right. We will probably cover After the Altar. Right. Of the current season that just finished and aired, and that I want to completely forget about. Anyways, we will be covering that, but we'll keep everyone posted on that. But yeah, we just wanted to say a quick little story at the end of how
at the beginning, but
probably should have done at the beginning, but you know what? Right. It's okay.
We're excited.
We are excited. We've been planning this for a long time. We're excited.
Yeah.
So
Probably maybe even a year.
I think we've been talking about for probably close to a year.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
But it's finally happening. So yes, we're going to end this off here. Thank you again, everyone. And again, please follow our socials, which will be in the show notes. Thank you. And we're going to end this off here.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.